Our next company is the modern custodian for RIAs and recently announced $152 million in funding. Join us now to break it all down is Altruist COO Mazi Bahadori. Really appreciate you being here. Congratulations on all the success.
JD, appreciate it. It's awesome to be here. Good to have us.
Of course. So $150 million in Series F funding. Talk to me about how you see this milestone and what does it signify for the company's trajectory? And why do you think people are really betting on Altruist to be the ultimate custodian here for the RIA space?
Yeah, it's a huge vote of confidence and staying power for the market. And that vote of confidence really is in Altruist's ability to go modernize custody for RIAs and to deliver on our mission. You know, we've spent the last 6+ years very much heads down building, and today we're now the third largest custodian in the country. We're the fastest growing custodian in the country. And I think our investors, both existing investors and new investors like GIC, Geodesic, Salesforce, Bailey Gifford, Iconic. They believe in our mission to make financial advice better, more affordable, and accessible to everyone. And they see the same thing that we do, which is, an absolutely massive market that's really long overdue for change and a platform that's uniquely positioned to go out and just put a lot of really great advice into more people's hands for a lot less cost.
The raise is all about accelerating innovation, specifically for growth-oriented RIAs. That's a sweet space to be in, by the way. What are the specific challenges you think these advisors are facing, and how are you uniquely positioned to solve those challenges, Mazi?
The biggest challenge really that our RIAs are facing is their inability to grow at the rate that they would otherwise like to. And a lot of that's because they're just hamstrung. They're hamstrung with antiquated technology, tech that is really inundating them with manual processes, a lot of paperwork, disconnected systems, disjointed workflows, repetitive tasks, just spending loads and loads of time doing things that really everything other than focusing on growing their business. And the second big challenge for them is just decision fatigue. I mean, everywhere you look these days, there's some new solution that's promising to do something. And it's really hard if you're an advisor to kind of separate the wheat from the chaff and figure out what is it that you want to go acquire? Where do you want to place your bets? What kind of tools and tech are actually going to accelerate your business? Altruist is very uniquely positioned to solve that in two ways. I mean, first and foremost, we are a full-fledged custodian. That means the buck stops with us. We're the ultimate system of record. We can do a whole lot more, a lot faster for a lot less. We're not just another layer of the tech stack here. The second thing is that we're very much focused on client outcomes. And so we want to implement tools and solutions that will actually help deliver a net better outcome to that end client. There's no reason why every investor on earth shouldn't be taking advantage of really modern tools that'll, limit cash drag, increase tax alpha, enhance trading efficiency, all of those things that when you aggregate them together are actually going to deliver a net better outcome, so that advisors can spend a lot more time on their clients, not on running their business.
And let's talk about a few of those tools you got. Recent product launches, Altruist Cash, Tax IQ, digital fixed income trading. How are you rethinking the end-to-end advisor experience, and what can we expect next?
It's a pretty unique advantage for Altruist. If you think about it, you take a good look at the space, we're actually the only custodian in the country that's exclusively focused on that advisor experience. We don't have any direct retail business. We don't have any robo-advisor solutions. There's no business line that we have that will ever compete with advisors for their clients. And so everything that we ever think about when it comes to that end-to-end advisor experience has the advisor and their client's best interests exclusively at heart. As for what's next, there's lots of stuff in the pipeline that we're really excited about. I mean, there's lots of things that we're doing with AI, and that's really to compound on the work that we've already done to increase efficiency, surface insights, automate those repetitive tasks. The second is deals with pricing. We want to take a good deep look at pricing and think of how do we really bundle high impact tools in a way that's going to create value for advisors and their clients. And then the third thing is just tooling. There's a lot of things that we do that we want to make sure everything that we're building is going to connect exceedingly well with all of the existing tools that advisors love. At the end of the day, I mean, what advisors can expect from us, we have a very high conviction hypothesis that if clients win, advisors win, and those advisors then get to go spend more time with their clients and growing their business.
What would you say is the key thing that Altruist is doing to change advising for its clients?
Probably the key thing is eliminating friction. If you think about what it's like to be a financial advisor, service clients, grow your business. There are many things that you have to do, everything from account opening to funding to trading to rebalancing to billing to reporting and so on. And all of those things, there's just dozens of points of friction all across those processes. And the name of the game at Altruist has really been since day one, let's eliminate as many points of those friction as possible. So again, advisors can spend more time growing their business and not having to run their business.
I always like to ask if there's anything under the hood that you're able or willing to share with us. I know a lot of times you're cooking on things that we can't know, but I wonder projects that particularly excite you, you can give us a little bit of an insight on.
So we're pretty unique in that we release new features every other week. So we've had a bi-weekly release schedule since day one of the company. There's always dozens of things in flight. You literally look at the platform today, it's going to look a little different than it did 2 weeks ago, than it was 2 weeks before that. But I think the thing that we're probably most excited about are the many, many AI initiatives that we have. Again, advisors are going to see those things trickle all across the platform to really compound that work that we just talked about. And that's actually going to accelerate quite a bit now that we have an incredibly strong balance sheet. We can go really, really fast here.
Finally, what would you say are some of the key things that customers are looking for when it comes to advising? Are there particular pain points they're coming to you to help solve?
I think I could probably boil it down to three really, really simple ones. First is just simplicity. They want a solution that removes complexity, reduces the amount of time that they're spending on any of those sort of business management tasks. The second is transparency. Advisors and their clients, they want transparency when dealing with a custodian. They want to know what's going on under the hood. How are you making money? Does your pricing model align to their business and to their values? And then the third and probably the most critical one really is better outcomes. It's not sufficient, I think, to just sort of build a platform and build tools that will help an advisor save time. We also want to go out there and make sure advisors can maximize the value that they're generating for their clients. And so our platform is very much designed to do that. And that's what we've also seen from many of the investors that have come on board. They're just expecting that from that. They want a place where they can actually go out and get net better outcomes. And Altruist is really well positioned to do that.
Congratulations on the raise. Thanks a lot for taking the time to join us here at the New York Stock Exchange. That is Altruist COO Mazi Bahadori. Congratulations. Thanks a lot.
JD, appreciate it so much.